Hello everyone, today we will talk about online media, one of the most important sectors you should comprehend when diving into the e-commerce world. I'm sure you're pretty familiar with BBC News, Times Magazine, eBooks, Spotify and Netflix. All of them are online media. Online content is divided into two smaller industries, online publishing industry and online entertainment industry. This presentation will give you a big picture of the online content industry and discuss the online publishing industry with online newspaper, online magazines and ebooks as example. So let's begin with the first part, overview of the online media. In this part, we will provide information about some of its significant statistics, the revenue models, and the concept of media convergence. A pandemic disrupted 2020 led to even more time spent with digital media than we anticipated. For example, US adults spent an average of 7 hours, 50 minutes per day with digital last year, a 15% increase from 2019. That growth will mostly be retained in 2021. In terms of owned media revenue, television, which includes paid TV and advertising, accounted for the largest percentage, about 35% of media revenues. The second rank belongs to publishing media, including books, newspapers, and magazines, for 30%. Video games take 14%, movies and other online videos, 9%, and music, 4.5%. About the business revenue models, there are three revenue models for digital content delivery. The two pay models are subscription, means all you can eat, and a la carte, pay for what you use. The third model uses advertising revenue to provide content for free, usually with a freemium, which means higher price option. Contrary to early analysis projection that free would drive paid out business, it turns out that both models are viable now and in the near future. There's nothing contradictory about all these three models working cooperatively. Free content can drive customers to pay content, as streaming services like Spotify has discovered. About the concept of media convergence, it has three dimensions. The first dimension is technological convergence, which refers to the development of hybrid devices that can combine the functionality of two or more media platforms. You can see the mobile phone we use every day is one typical example. The second dimension is content convergence. Generally speaking, it refers to the exploitation of online tools to design, produce, and distribute content. And the third dimension, industry convergence, which refers to the merger of media enterprises into powerful combinations that can cross-market content on many different platforms and create books that use multiple platforms. This can take place either through purchases or through strategic alliance. Netflix is one of the examples of industry convergence, where an internet company which offers customer movies from famous manufacturers turns into a media content producer, producing its own film series.
Move to the third part of online publishing industry. The internet offers the text publishing industry an opportunity to move toward a new generation of newspapers, magazines, and books that are produced, processed, stored, distributed, and sold over the website, available anytime, anywhere, and sold on any device. Now let's start with the online newspaper industry. The evolution of newspaper online business model spanned from 1995 until today. The newspaper industry can be considered the earliest field that developed with the flow of technology. Since 1995, its evolution has experienced three distinct business models. Prior to the development of the web and search engines, readers discovered the news by browsing the printed paper. The technology platform was print, sometimes green with color, which is considered a major innovation and expand in this period. With the introduction of the web and its growing popularity from 1998 to 2000, newspapers retained their existing print-centric strategy and culture, thus adding digital copies of their print editions and posting them online. The technology platform for the digital editions was the desktop or laptop. In the integrated print or web period, newspapers adopted multimedia elements such as video, added more interactive elements like crossword puzzles and context, and provided more reader feedback opportunities. There were also opportunities to personalize the news, however, they were limited. Readers were somewhat more engaged. The technology platform remained the desktop or laptop platform. From 2007 until 2008, Apple introduced the iPhone and the Facebook has been open to the public, quickly becoming the largest scale social web pages with over 100 million of users. Those events opened the door to the digital first period, where the industry platform is based on the mobile device apps. The news go on 24 hours a day. Stories might start with any social web pages post. The digital first business model inverts previous models. The top priority is producing the most engaging and then producing a print product based on it. In the case of poor digital startups, there's no print edition, and the news is just a continuous stream of updates and posts rather than a fixed article. Instead of waiting for readers to discover the news or search for the news on a research engine, the news is pushed to the readers on any social media sites. Following the trend, most of the major newspaper groups have joined with the social media sites like Facebook to have their articles appear in the news feed. To the strengths and challenges of the newspaper, enterprises operating in this newspaper industry have both strengths and challenges. In terms of strengths, newspapers have large audience size and growth. As you can see on the slide, the online readership of the newspaper is growing at more than 10% a year. About 67% of United States Internet users, approximately about 179 million people, read the newspaper content online, making it the second most popular activity according to the Newspaper Association of America in 2016. As for why online newspapers attract exceptionally large and loyal audiences compared to other media, newspapers are the most trusted sources of news and commentary on local, national, and international stories. To be short, it is the quality of content that makes the newspaper outstanding. As for the obstacles newspaper enterprises have to deal with, finding a suitable revenue model to generate profits is quite urgent. As the news of media industry saw the massive revenue declines, although it was expected to hit the charts and lift up all the revenues, the problem lies at increasing but less valuable traffic to the news sites. To clarify, the audience is increasingly coming from social media sites and the search engines rather than coming directly to the newspaper homepage. We will be less engaged and less valuable. As you can see from the figure 4, if the current trends continue, businessmen will need to build on their expanding digital subscription market composed of loyal readers. In the previous period, paying for the news was not preferred. However, changes in the public perception has benefited the newspaper industry, with some typical examples of the Wall Street Journal and the Times earning high revenues from subscription fees, using a metered subscription, same as the premium model mentioned above. The traditional newspaper companies also face challenges coming from the growth of poor digital competitors. The venture capital investors have poured over $1 billion into poorly digital online news sites. Data shown in the 2016. The digital online news site also witnessed the growth of unique visitors and traffic from the mobile devices. So, Can newspapers survive the digital disruption? They can't. But when they develop to the digital-first publications while maintaining their historic quality edge, and also adapt quickly and exploit technology to compete with the poor digital competitors.
Unlike newspaper, magazines did not record much impact of the internet and web on its sales at first. However, as screen improved and the internet became common, magazine newsstand sales have declined significantly since 2001. Especially news magazines like Time, Newsweek, US News, and World Report have been the hardest hit. Yes, special interest and celebrity, homemaking, and automobile magazines remain stable. Magazines have responded to declining sales of physical magazines by developing digital replica magazines, fairly close copy of the physical magazine. Unfortunately, it seems that the picture isn't as positive as expected. Global magazine publishing still see total global revenues decline over the 5 years at an annual rate of 0.5%. However, in contrast to newspaper, magazine circulation revenue fall particularly sharply. Newspapers have to deal with the difficulty of monetizing digital magazine, while digital revenue mostly comes from advertising. Grow steadily, it makes up only 30% of total consumer magazine revenue in 2020, up to 16% in 2015. The increasing digital revenue is not quite enough to compensate for decline in printed revenue. One possible solution is changing a subscription fee for access to the digital editions, which currently are often free. In general, there are two possible revenue models for online magazines. The first one is subscription services provided by virtual storefronts such as Apple App Store or Google Play, which allow magazines to offer subscription from within their app and have the transaction processed by their billing system. Publishers set the price and customers can subscribe with one click. Usually, Apple keeps 30% of the transaction. The publisher can also directly attract readers to their website for a subscription, in which case Apple does not make any fees. For example, The New Yorker, one of the most widely read, with 1 million print subscribers and 30 million unique visitors to its website. In 2014, the magazine introduced a me-to-pay wall on their website. Some articles are free, but frequent readers will be charged an annual subscription fee. In 2016, The New Yorker launched a new iPhone app called The New Yorker Today that is free to download and use for 1 month. But thereafter, switching to the same meter model used in its website. Despite the shrinkage of the print subscription and newsstand sales in the past few years, the total magazine audience size increased considerably due entirely to the growth of digital magazines, especially mobile web edition. Here are some interesting facts about its popularity. As a 2020 magazine media Facebook released, 91% of orders living in the US read magazines. Magazine reach has even exceeded that television, particularly with the women in the tech industry. More than 25% of tablet computer owners and 85% mobile users read magazine content once a week. There are an estimated 1,200 magazine apps for mobile readers.
Another form of online publishing that is very familiar to the student like us is the ebooks. Although ebooks were first introduced in the 1990s, but only until 2007, the future of the ebook started to be firmly established. In 2007, Amazon introduced the Kindle, which allowed users to download books from the Kindle store using AT&T sales network. The ebook also received another boost in 2009 when the Barnes and Noble introduced its Nook e-reader, and in 2010, Apple introduced its first iPad template computer. Today, Amazon and Apple are the two leading companies in this industry. The ebook market was valued at the 18.30 billion in 2010. The ebook nowadays are also featured with the media convergence to become the interactive books with the picture, video, and other materials. The content convergence also changed the process of making the book. That writer can use digital devices such as Wattpad or Rocketbook to write and design a book, and they even can publish theirs through online platforms like Amazon and Apple. And now, the ebook industry are facing several challenges. The first challenge is that now ebook according to the American Association of the Publishers, ebook make about 21% of the total book sales. The technical development and the certification of the reading devices that providing it a similar experience to reading an actual book, but with a lower cost, are the key factors driving the global ebook market. However, the market now are quite saturated, and the market share hasn't recorded a significant growth rate like in the period in 2007 and 2010. That is because that the readers only view ebook as an useful alternative, but not a substitute for the print books. Therefore, people are likely to switch back and forth from ebook to the print ones. In professional and educational book markets, students do prefer physical books, increasing the comprehension and retention, making them easier to concentrate. You know that when you're using the ebooks on your mobile phone or laptops, you are more likely to be distracted by the notifications from other apps. And the second challenge, also the biggest challenge facing the publishing industry, is the control over pricing digital ebook platforms. In order to understand this, we first need to take a look at the two business models of the ebooks. The first model is the wholesale model, where the retail store pays a wholesale price for the book, and then they decide what price to sell to the customer. With the ebook, publishers discover that some online retailers might sell the books below the cost in order to attract more customers. A good example of this is Amazon. Secondly, in the agency model, the distributor, the agent of the publisher, is directed to sell ebooks at the price determined by the publisher in return for about 30% commission. Apple and Google agreed to support this model, and neither of whom were comfortable watching Amazon dominated one of the hottest areas of the web content sales. And it is the difference in pricing strategy is the main reason for Amazon's controlling over price. Instead of the retail price, about $10.99 and $4.99, Amazon only choose to sell ebooks for $9.99. In this way, Amazon might lose about $1 to $3 on every book sold, but it recouped the money by selling the Kindles for hundreds of dollars and from additional sales of the other products. And by using this strategy, Amazon occupied 74% market share, making it have the tremendous market power and becoming a near monopoly on ebook industry. And of course, publisher doesn't like it, and neither do Amazon and Google. The agency model temporarily turned the tables on the Amazon. It now had to charge whatever price that the publishers want to, and or the publishers would not sell Amazon any books. However, this was declined by the court, so Amazon still charged a lower price than the publisher and its agent. As a result, the traditional book publishing industry has lost pricing power, and also its largest distribution partner, Amazon. Therefore, the future and the profit of the ebook industry is still unopened to us. I hope that you guys will enjoy this video, and thank you for choosing our video instead of thousands one out there.